Okay, so hashtag mom life. Your life has drastically changed in the last 20 months.
Yes.
Since, learning you're pregnant to having kids 10 months ago, twins.
Yes.
What is double duty like?
Double duty's a lot. I don't know what a singleton feels like, so I feel like every time we just take care of one baby, I'm like, oh, we have so much free time. We have time to just have one of us do stuff. But it's a busy world when you have two, and I'm sure a lot of parents who have two kids feel very similarly. And moms of multiples know that there's just quite a few months of lack of sleep, and you go from one thing to the next. And I've just been very lucky to have Coach Nate, who also has twins, and his wife, Michaela, and be able to call them and be like, what do you do with this? What product do I need for this? And so getting that network has been so important for me to just be able to balance some of the twins, and also just remembering that you also get twice as much joy when you have them. So you get twice as many smiles. If one baby's grumpy, you can give them to dad and take the smiley baby, and kind of be a little selfish with some of those cuddles and things like that.
Boys, right? You have two boys?
I have boy girl.
Boy, girl. Okay.
Yeah.
He has two boys.
Yes, Nate has
And
two boys.
Nate has two boys, okay. Who are like the viral sensations of the U.S. Open, right?
Yeah.
But like taking care of two kids, it's just so different. What'd you call it? Singletons?
Singleton,
Singleton.
Singleton life.
But like you're doing this, you're balancing this crazy training schedule, and how much better is your body as the months go by from being giving birth 10 months, as you said, postpartum. What is that like for you, and how much is your body getting back into shape or different? How is that? What's the change been like for you?
Going through pregnancy with multiples, I'm considered high risk because I'm over 30, and just watching my body change and grow was incredible. Amazing to see that we can create life and then feed it. It's a really special process that women can just do this thing naturally, and then to have my body kind of grow and then shrink back and then have to heal it. Postpartum is real, and you have to respect it, and I had to spend a lot more time off the mat than I had anticipated. My weight, like losing the weight or after pregnancy, was a different journey than I had kind of anticipated, and lost a little bit more weight than I had anticipated. So just trying to get bigger and stronger right now, which I know is probably because I just need to eat more because I'm so busy. But coming from waking up early with the babies and feeding them, making sure somebody can come to practice with me so they can watch them during my practice, finishing up, feeding a baby, having lunch, feeding a baby again, getting nap time in, then going straight to your second practice and making sure you have childcare for that, coming home, starting dinner, putting the kids to bed, and then I go to sleep right after they do and wake up and kind of start that process again. And so it's a lot throughout the day. There's not a lot of breaks. It's busy. It really is. And I just, the more time and space that I have away from the birth, I do feel like I'm getting stronger, and just kind of like having my brain come back too. That sleep deprivation is so challenging. And I know a lot of parents need to spend a little bit more time sleeping because it's hard when those babies aren't sleeping, and your whole life is a little foggy, and you just kind of feel run down and like you're not operating on full wheels yet. So I'm still just getting there, and I'm just so grateful I was able to make a national team this year, and hopefully step on a mat and make a world team starting tomorrow.
Short 3-year cycle, because 2021 COVID. It's a weird. We're in a weird time here, right? With the 3-year cycle. After this 3-year cycle, 2024, is that it for competition? Why the move? There's a lot of questions I have here, but are you done after this 2024?
I've been done after my first quad, so I don't know if I can really trust when I say it's just too hard to commit to more than 4 years at a time. And so for me, I'm committed to this quad, and then we'll reevaluate. I do plan to have another baby in the next quad, and that pushes it into a shorter quad again. And so that ripple effect, I think I could be done. I could also find my way back to it's on home turf again. And one of my favorite world championships was competing here in Las Vegas and winning a world title on home soil. And so it's not out of the question that I could be back for LA, but I am getting older. I have a big family that's growing and growing, and if we have another set of twins, that might be too much. I don't know if I can have a big enough car. But my husband got a position. He's in the Army still, and so we get moved around quite a bit. Colorado Springs will still actually be my home base. I'll just be living in San Pedro, but I'll still train out in Colorado. And so I'm going to be commuting back and forth just by plane, taking the babies with me when I can. And we have national team camps once a month. So I know for a lot of people, they're like, what do you mean? But you're traveling and having to do that anyway. And so being an older athlete, I don't need to be on the mat twice a day, every 4 weeks of the month. And so spending 10 days having, you know, these young people beat me up and having my veteran athletes come in there and train and make sure that we're getting what we need and get the reps in. And then I go home and I eat and I train and I lift, and I just make sure to stay healthy and in shape enough to come in and be ready to really fine tune the wrestling during those training camps.
Kennedy is like a freak athlete. She's taller than you. She's super athletic. She's younger. It's like, how do you pull out some mom tricks or something? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do to change the outcome from U.S. Open to now? I know you can do it. Everybody knows you can do it. She probably in the back of her mind knows you can do it. But like, what do you change about that? Obviously, the score, we get that.
Yeah.
But how do you slow down this person who's so athletic, moves so much, has great shots, you know, has great instinct?
Kennedy has a lot of resources to her abilities, and just that toolbox is being refined, and I'm hoping to catch her on some of those mistakes. I think when you're young, you just make more mistakes within your wrestling, and that is where I kind of shine. I'm able to capitalize on some of those moments of mental lapses or physical, just not knowing what that next transition or next move is. And I knew I wasn't ready at nationals, and it really was just ego that would have held me out of going in there. I hadn't done a sprawl yet, so just the fact that I went to nationals and had a successful tournament, I was just kind of trying it out, you know, and I knew that wasn't the best form that I was going to be in. I saw, you know, the internet kind of be like, oh, she's done. I'm like, hold on, I'm just getting back into it. Like, I've barely trained, I've barely had a training cycle, but now we've had 2 big competitions. I've got my feet wet. I've had some base training. I've been able to lift. I've been able to get stronger each week, and really, it's postpartum is something you have to respect. You have to understand that my body's stretched and my abs tore, and I have just some healing that I have to still do. And so the goal is to be on the Olympic team next year, and the reason right now is important is because we want to qualify that weight. And I've qualified all the weights that we've needed to have qualified, and I know that I can take, because this year it's a little bit harder to qualify the weight class because you have to be in those medal matches. And so those medal matches is something, I'm great at World Championships, and so I think we want me as that representative to qualify the weight class. And when you send people to their first World Championships, that doesn't always work out well. My first World Championship, I took 5th, and so it sometimes takes a little bit of time for you to figure out that international style of wrestling at the World Championships, and I think I can qualify the weight class and then be in much better form next year, because this is not full strength yet. This is not full weight yet. I'm going to get so much better over the next 9 months, and just need more time. And so right now we're just kind of racing the clock and doing the best we can, and I believe I'm smart enough and in shape enough that I can make that possible tomorrow.
You don't look like a twin mama too. You look awesome. Look great. Look like you're getting back into shape, and I can't wait to see it. I'm keeping wasting your time here. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I appreciate you. You got anything else for me?
No, I think it's just showing people that and I think when you have kids, sometimes your life does derail a little bit, and you get focused on those children, and it should. You know, they're your created life. You're now bringing these special little beings to be a people one day, and but it also, there's importance for the person who had those kids, and so I think I'm able to reach for some big goals right now, and some of the other things just kind of fell into place. I was able to lose my baby weight. I was able to start to feel stronger. I was able to mentally feel like I was engaged. I mean, hearing my coach say good job is so motivating and special to have mentally, and we just need to have some more moms be able to have intrinsic motivation like that, and have someone be able to tell them good job, and have them that be about them, not just taking care of their kids. And so I think that there's something special that's happening right here, that not just for all moms, but especially for moms that you can have a full life cycle within wrestling as well. I think a lot of women saw this as their first careers, that they had to kind of stop and then move on once they were, ready to start a family. But the men have been doing this for a really long time, and I know that there's a biological complication where I have to be off the mat, but that doesn't mean we can't come back. That means that we can still be part of this world, and there's space and resources that we can make that possible. So I'm just hoping to be a highlight for some of these young women who want to play this sport and do it for not just a couple years through college, but have this be their full careers.
Now I'm fired up for some mom tricks tomorrow night.
Mom tricks.
I can't wait. Good luck to you moving forward, and thanks for the time.
Thank you very much.